Hey, Shalom Markins Rakam Akapash from Jim Islam, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashar Chachwadash. I want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom Ahmed there, there to the whole for expression of truth in all sincerity. Back in on a video, just a quick one, man. I know I just caught this arc we're here, and that here in the UK, in Scotland specifically, you got the Legend of the Loch, Legend of the Loch Ness Monster, right? And these men are always trying to seek out, you know, so-called monsters in the earth, right? Through seeking or whatever, right? Trying to document and label things and whatever, right? But one day you're gonna find something you ain't gonna want to find, right? You know, and one day, because Legend of Loch has been going on for a long time, and whether these things are true or not, or if these things like, because who knows, this creature that they this picture captured, could be long dead. Who knows, right? But they're still looking through it because uh, it excites them, thinking, oh, there could be something in there, something to discover, right? Esau likes trying to discover things, and like I said, one day he might find something he don't want to find, right? And what we're referring to is Leviathan, man. And I'm not saying this is Leviathan, obviously, but because Leviathan is going to be on a humongous scale. Um, but it garners attention to the loch and brings tourists in, because it's mostly a tourist attraction now. And like no one's seen this thing in like, yeah, decades or whatever, right? So it's just to garner attention there, traffic, tourism and shit, right? But Esau's always on these these discoveries. You had that submarine failure that happened recently with the millionaires or billionaires or whatever, and the submarine imploded trying to look at for the look into the Titanic and shit, right? You always got Esau do some bullshit, try to do some exploration and shit, right? But like I said, you're gonna, well, don't worry about finding monsters. The monsters are gonna find you, right? When the time comes, right? You're gonna get to see them, right? Because the Lord gonna bring them out, right? But anyway, I'm just gonna bring this out. Yeah, plan for the biggest Nessie search in more than 50 years. All right, this is what has been described as the biggest search for the Loch Ness monster since the early 1970s is due to be held later this month. Drones, technology is going to use drones and shit, right? Drones fitted with infrared cameras are to be flown over the loch, and a hydrophone is to be used to detect unusual underwater sounds. Organizers said volunteers will also look for possible signs of a creature from safe vantage points on land. Right, search is to be held on the 26th and the 27th of August. Pardon me. Loch Ness Centre in Drummond Droghcheat. I say that. And the volunteer research team called Loch Ness Exploration are organising the effort. All right. So you got a quote here in one of these bullet points, right? It said Loch Ness monster may be giant eel societies, right? You know, whatever they theorize, they haven't actually found it, so they can keep theorizing. But like I said, there's things in these oceans and in these seas, right, that is going to be beyond what you're imagining, right? Because you haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. You know, not a living specimen, maybe not even a fossil of any type, right? This is the because Mosai said he made was it great whales in the beginning of Genesis. I think it says great whales. Let's see. Was it the third day, fourth day? Where are you? Oh, here's the fourth day. Fifth day. Yeah. Verse 21 says here, right? And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. Right? God created great whales. Now the word isn't actually whales. Um, oh, I forgot what it is. Uh, 1 second. All right. Got this blue letter up. Right. It should help me out with this. Great whales. Where is it? Right. The word whales here is dragon, serpent, sea monster. Right. The Lord made great serpents. Right. And I guess you could say, they're saying eels, right? I guess an eel. No, you could describe it as a type of serpent, I guess. Don't really know how to classify eels, but it's like a snake in the water, isn't it? It says dragon or dinosaur, right? Because dinosaurs do exist, right? Whether on land or in water, they do exist. Behemoth, right, is a dinosaur, a dragon or sorts, because that's all a dinosaur, a dragon is. It's the same type of thing, right? You got those of legends that breathe fire, but guess what? Leviathan breathe fire underwater, right? And this is what Godzilla is based upon, you know. So it says a sea or river monster, serpent, and venomous snake, right? And like I say, it's mentioned in the scriptures, and it said they made many after its kind, right? Uh, Sea serpent or sea jackal. What do they got here? Crocodile. All right. Yeah. So sea serpent, right? Let's just look at this root word. Okay, interesting. It says a dragon may be the extent dinosaur Plesiosaurus well, and the scientists mentioned the Plesiosaurus as a possibility of what's in the lock or what was in the lock, depending on if it's alive or not, right? So that's what they're thinking they're gonna go find. Fair enough if that's what you think, innit? But I'm just saying there's dreadful creatures out there, man, that the Most High made. All right, he said the God and God can't talk, and God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly. Right, so Leviathan, although notable, he may not be the only one, especially not of that size, right, and devastation. So let's go back to the article. Yeah, so they said it would be the biggest search for the monster since the Loch Ness Investigation Bureau studied in the loch since in 1972. So the Bureau was set up in the 1960s to uncover the existence of a large beast in the waters. People can pay for trips on the loch during this month's search. All right. So Adam McKenna of Loch Ness Exploration said, "It's our hope to inspire a new generation of Loch Ness enthusiasts." Right, and this is all about money. It's a tourist attraction, and obviously it's dying because ain't no one seen this thing in ages, right? So they want to encourage people, or spark people's interest to come down to the loch, and that's mostly about the money side of things, to be honest. All right, it's a hope to inspire a new generation of Loch Ness enthusiasts, and by joining this large-scale surface watch, you'll have a real opportunity to personally contribute towards this fascinating mystery that has captivated so many people from around the world. Yeah, they can use technology not previously used before. Yeah, let's read. Since 2019, scientists said the creatures behind repeated sightings of the fabled Loch Ness monster may be giant eels. Like I said, Could be not. Uh, okay, so researchers from New Zealand tried to catalog all living species in the loch by extracting DNA from the water samples. Following analysis, the science ruled out the presence of large animals said to be behind the reports of the monster. No evidence of a prehistoric marine reptile called a plesiosaurus or a large fish such as sturgeon were found. Right, and like I said, you ain't gonna, Leviathan. You ain't gonna find Leviathan. Leviathan gonna find you, right? You ain't gonna find these great beasts that the scriptures speak about. These great serpents. All right, he's gonna find you in due time. Okay, like I said, not saying Loch Ness monster in that picture is Leviathan or but what man are searching for. Okay, you ain't gonna find. Okay, until such and such time, as the Most High desires. Um. So in April 1933, hotel manageress Audie McKay told of seeing a whale-like creature and the loch's water cascading and churning. The Inverness Courier newspaper reported the sighting of an editor at the time, Evan Barron, suggested the beast be described as a monster, kickstarted the modern myth of Nessie. All right, so that was all publicity. Um, in an interview years later, Miss McKay said she had seen something black, wet, with the water rolling off it, moving in circles. She described it as a beast to her husband. The legend dates back to the Middle Ages when the Irish monk St. Columba is said to have encountered a creature in the Ness, a river that flows from Loch Ness. All right, so they're trying to bring around some hype around that again, but your monster hunting days, man, are gonna be over, man. You're gonna be become the hunted. Right, so let me just read this and we'll close up. Right, Joel 41 verse 1. Right, it says canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? He will make many supplications unto thee. Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thy hand upon him. Remember the battle. Do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down? Shall not one be cast out even at the sight of him? Leviathan is terrible to behold, man. He like the legends, that attacked ships and brought down ships in the middle of the ocean and shit. The stories of the krakens and stuff like that. They're like giant beasts that dwell in the deepest depths of the oceans. That's the kind of thing that these people are gonna witness in the last days, man. All right, these great whale creatures, these great serpents and stuff, right? You're gonna see them. Again, then you're gonna wish you hadn't. All right, it says none is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before him? Right. So these idiots, man, they gotta, they're monster hunting, looking for this and that, man. They don't know what they're gonna find. And they might very well regret it. So who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Right, so when the time comes, the Most High ain't gonna keep him hidden. Right, he's gonna be out there for everyone to see, and how massive and how powerful he is. Like I said, it's based on the story of Godzilla. What they got up in the movies, man, just full of power. Right, serpent that raised out of the water and breathing fire on you, man. Okay, destroying cities and shit. You got the military of the world panicking. That's what he's going to be like, right? So who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. Okay, it's sturdy, man, right? They're joined one to another. They stick together. They cannot be sundered. You can't part them, right? So how are you going to inflict damage? You can't get beyond the armor, right? They are joined one to another. Verse 18. But his Nesins, his Nesins, a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning, right? They're bright. Okay, out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out, right? So this is a dragon in every sense of the word, as the legend goes, right? Fire-breathing dragons, right? Because all it is, all it is, the dinosaurs, right? But particular ones breathe fire. This is one of them. You know, this is out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck, so yeah, in his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together; they are firm in themselves; they cannot be moved. His heart, which is his mind, is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of nevermill stone. Okay, well, actually, might actually be talking about, the organ. All right, it says, when he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings, they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold. The spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. Right, so the strength of iron is as straw, and straw is easily snapped. Right, same as rotten wood. The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laughed at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. Right, because he heat it up. Right, he maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. Upon earth there is not his like, who is made without fear. He beholdeth all things. He is the king. He is a king over the children of pride. All right, and I said the Most High gonna unleash Leviathan upon Esau, man, and these other nations. Okay, when the time comes, all right, to bring them destruction. All right. So yeah, they are terrible creatures out there, beasts and monsters that Esau, labels, right? But Leviathan is a true definition of that. A true definition of that, man. You ain't gonna want to find him. Okay, you don't want to be caught slipping and find him. All right, but like I said, in due time, don't worry. He gonna find you. All right, so I'm just gonna close out with this. Oops. Amos 9 and 3. I'm gonna start from let's start from the top. Right, it says, I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Right, so you elites out there, you're gonna kind of try and flee from the judgment of the Lord, okay, from the wrath of the Lamb, right? But you're not gonna escape. Okay, you're gonna be gotten. Verse 2 said, though they dig into hell, down in the in their bunkers and whatever, into the earth, right, deep in the earth, right. Though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them up. The angels are gonna be sent after you, man, to go drag your ass up out of there. Okay, because you ain't safe. You think you're safe because you're so much meters in the ground, encapsulated in metal or whatever. You ain't safe. All right, so though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. You think because you're off the earth, You know, that you're above the destruction, you think you're safe in your space stations and whatever. You know, so though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, right? You have bases or bunkers in the sea, thinking that you're safe there. No. Thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Okay, Leviathan is a serpent, right? So yeah, and I said it might be more than just Leviathan, but Leviathan's a special case. But these things are gonna be sent after you, man. The serpent is gonna come and bite them. You're gonna destroy your little base, right? Your little base. You're gonna destroy it. The iron is a straw to him. Your steel and shit, man, it ain't nothing. You wreck it. Yam it up, burn it, melt it down. You know, smash it up. Right? You're not safe. You're not safe from the Heavenly Father, man, and his wrath. No matter where you are. All right. It says, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them, and he's gonna get you. Okay, he's gonna find you. All right. But, I'm gonna end it there. Like I say, it was just supposed to be a short one. So yeah, Lord, this was edifying. I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video, man. So till next time, I say shalom.